What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. Hello, everybody. We're back and we're ready to go. And so usually there's one theme for the week and then open it up to Q&A, whatever you guys want to talk about. Tony's already got his hand up, so that's exciting. Samar asked why mindset matters. And so just, quick riff, I guess, on mindset. I think lack of belief is the world's biggest problem, right? Like whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And most people are just stuck. Most people feel trapped. Most people are around other negative people who also feel trapped. And so you might occasionally have this idea that great things are possible, but then you fall back to the negative mindset and everybody else around you and you stay stuck. I just came back from speaking at two events in Phoenix at Genius Network. And the first one, people pay $25,000 a year to be in. And the second one is you pay $100,000 to be in. And my last day, I had a morning coffee with a guy who had sold his business for over $200 million and now is helping other entrepreneurs be more efficient and productive in their businesses. And, he picked me up from my hotel and we drove to his house, and then he eventually drove me to the airport. And his house is more like a compound. It's not just a house. It's like a house and then an entire house just for his recording studio he plays guitar, and another house just for his Taekwondo studio for him to practice, and like 4 houses in one house. And more than any bit of advice that he gave me, and similar to just being in those groups, it's the mindset difference. It's like trying to do life at a bigger level, trying to have an impact at a bigger level. And for most of us, we are that source of positivity for other people. We are the ones believing in other people and pouring into other people and telling them that they can do it and giving them love and encouragement and support. But who's telling us that we can do better, and in a loving way, not like you should be doing this. We got lots of those people, but who's pushing you in a loving way forward? And for the most part, we don't have those people. So that's why I love a group like this. That's why I love groups like Movement Makers, and just in general, trying to be around more optimistic, positive people, because sometimes it's hard for us to carry the whole burden of positivity and optimism for ourselves. And so if you are the most optimistic person that's in your immediate circle, that's a problem. It's great that don't stop pouring into other people, but if you don't have anybody who's pouring into you, then that keeps us stuck and it keeps us small. And so the mindset shift to feel like, hey, I can do more, I can be more, I can serve more, I can have a bigger impact, I think becomes really important. So the whole idea of you are the 5 people you surround yourself with really matters. And if you don't know anybody, then get in a group or come back to, a group like this, or even just through content, right? That I haven't met Elon Musk yet, but I get inspired by his videos and his content and his moves. Like Elon Musk is buying Twitter. What? Doesn't he already have 4 of the companies that he's running or something? It's like, it just makes me question what I'm doing, not in a negative way. Like I think comparison actually can be really beneficial. A lot of people say, don't compare yourself to others. And I think people just compare themselves incorrectly. They look at somebody else and then they kick themselves down and say, I can't do it. Where I like it as a kick forward. Say, wow, look what Elon Musk is doing. I should be thinking bigger. And it's an inspiration to go off and do more. Otherwise we stay stuck and stay small. So anyway, that's my little quick riff on why mindset matters. Thank you, Samar, for the topic. And let's open it up. Tony's got his hand up. What do we got, Tony?
I have a personal training and nutrition coaching business for 35 years now. And for 33 years, I was doing everything in person until COVID hit, switched everything virtual and online. But for probably the past 8 years, since I was about 45-ish years of age, I've been posting nonstop Monday through Friday on Facebook. I've been emailing Monday through Friday to my emails. I started doing Instagram maybe a couple of years ago as well. I feel lost in that kind of virtual world.
So we went through a great exercise this morning, Movement Makers, where I told them that my number 2 platform is now TikTok. We decided last week that YouTube is number 1, and it still is number 1 by far. But I've switched in the past week from Instagram to TikTok as number 2. And so part of it is being smart with where you're at. because you could be producing the best content ever, but if you're on Facebook, like Facebook has been dead for a long time, right? There's zero organic reach on Facebook. It's a fantastic ad platform, but it sucks for content. Instagram is slowly not dying, but becoming less and less and less and less and less relevant. It's harder to rank. It's harder to win. We covered it a little bit today, but the Reels is still going to be your best bet now. Like no more pictures. It's Reels. So I need to see Reels. I need to see short form video content. And then TikTok is definitely picking up steam. Like we're over 500,000 followers on TikTok and 250,000 on Instagram. And it's taken me like 6 years to do that on Instagram and a year and a half or whatever on TikTok. And we're barely taking TikTok seriously, right? Like Instagram's been number one and we just kind of post whatever to TikTok and that thing is blowing up. And it's becoming an education place as well for people. So it's not just somebody commented like 16-year-old teenagers dancing or whatever. There's still that and there's fun, but it's also becoming an education platform. And the easiest thing to do is go search for what you're doing, what you teach, and see what's on there. And you'll see that, hey, there's actually education content on there. So I love that you're making content, and I love that you're an expert and you've been doing this for so long and you want to serve. I would look at, if I was getting started now and I didn't have traction, I would do YouTube long form and TikTok short form, but then I bring to the other platforms. I would probably completely abandon Facebook unless it was just easy to post or you had some kind of community there already. And the long form YouTube videos would be not hugely impactful in the short term, but you've been doing this for a while and you want to keep doing this. And so getting, whether they're actual workout videos that you're going to do, whether they're coaching sessions that you have with clients, you're imagining somebody's going to see this in a year and 2 years and 3 years and love what you're doing and sign up. YouTube is if you want to get off the kind of rat race, the hamster wheel, whatever, YouTube is it, because when you make content in a year, it's still relevant and valuable and can drive traffic. Every other platform it's like Instagram, it's instant. It's only what's happening right now. Doesn't mean that it can't help or can't convert, but choice of platform and choice of content. Like if you're doing pictures on Instagram, it's just gone off a cliff. So it's short form video. Everybody wants short form video now, plus long form on YouTube. So I'd look at if you're not consistent on YouTube yet, I'd look at once a week making content, 10 minutes plus, no upper limit on how long you can go. And then a daily short form for TikTok that then you take to the other platforms.
Great, thank you.
Okay, let's move on. LadyLixi, what do we got?
Hi there, Evan. Today is the Dutch Liberation Day, 77 years ago. There are a number of festivals. They are still going.
You say Liberation Day?
Yeah.
Dutch Liberation Day. Oh, okay, great. Well, happy Liberation Day.
Yeah, so that's May 5th. And with everything going on, I'm like, I need to go to Rotterdam, go to one of those festivals, make a recording. But I'm like, okay, what exactly am I going to talk about? I cannot just address all the people there because I don't have a press badge or anything. So how do I make that work? Because I feel like it's so important that we get to speak out. And so I can either go there or I can do it from here. What would you suggest?
Well, hold on. What are you speaking out against? So okay, Dutch Independence Day. Cool. Today is 77th anniversary. Awesome.
Oh, that we got liberated by the English and by the American, and there might even be some Canadian.
Okay, so the idea is, hey, you need to, like, you want to recognize them having, I don't know, was it a revolution or was it like how, like they're speaking up for themselves?
And it's so important. And I mean, especially with what's going on in the Ukraine, it makes my heart cry. Since my motto is about speaking up and speaking out, this is about people back then were, of course, being delegated basically to the camps and put to work there, and they were not recognized as people. So it's not necessarily that I want to speak out for what happened there. I just want to say like, okay, let's celebrate freedom. Let's remember that it's important that we do speak up and speak out what we see and what we find should change, and also on a personal level.
So, I mean, that could be a great, so if the message is speaking out for freedom, then that's something that people can connect with, because we want to target ideally the world, not just Holland, right?
Yeah.
So most people wouldn't know that it's Dutch Independence Day, or however many years it's been, or how Holland even came out of, like most people know the story, and the story almost doesn't matter unless it really means something to you. But if you were going to go and make it not just what happened 77 years ago, but where do people need more freedom right now? Like, it's a good trigger as a reminder. So I'm Canadian, but like we have Canada Day, but it's not really that big a deal in Canada. But Americans take their Independence Day pretty seriously, right? And so on July 4th in America, if you were to go off and talk to people about freedom, but then make it reflective as to where do you not have enough freedom in your life right now? And not just from like the government imposing something on you, but your own situation. Like, where are you stuck in a relationship? Are you stuck in a bad career? Are you stuck in bad habits? Are you stuck with an addiction? Like, if you can tie the need for freedom to something they're facing right now in their life, then it can lead to speaking up, like for yourself. If you're in a bad relationship, hey, maybe you need to get out. If you're in a bad career, maybe now is the time. So you can use this event as a spark plug to create some change. So you could go, if you want to go to the event, you don't need a press badge to talk to people. You just go on the street and you ask people about what freedom means to them, but then make it relevant to today. Like, well, where do you not have enough freedom right now, do you think, in your life? And then guiding them to a path of speaking up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a big step for me, dressing people randomly at a festival. But
listen, lean in on that, because this is now you speaking up.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good challenge. Absolutely.
This is, you've never done it before. And this is now you going after your freedom, because you don't want to have that blocking mindset anymore.
Yeah.
And you may have people who say, no, I don't want to talk to you. No, I hate you. I mean, whatever. You're like thinking like worst case scenario. But you'll have some people who will talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. And then maybe I can do some short lives, and then later on make it into a big one and post it on YouTube.
Honestly, the biggest win out of all of this isn't the content you're going to get from them. It's from you pushing yourself outside the comfort zone.
Okay, that makes sense.
The fact that like one person might say yes to you and you're so scared to ask people to come on, and then you get one person to do it, even if it's not the greatest conversation of all time, like that forward momentum and you breaking through, like that should be a video. You should film yourself going and how scared you are and whatever thoughts are in your head. And you're basically speaking up to your own thoughts to say, you know what? No, I'm going to go do this. And even if I embarrass myself, if nobody talks to me, I'm still going to go off and do it. I saw a great clip yesterday on Instagram where this guy was a stutterer. So he gets nervous and then he can't talk. And his coach, I know you guys have seen this, his coach had him go out in a busy area and go up to people and ask them to like, hey, can you help me for a second? And all he then would ask them is, what time is it? But it took him forever to get it out because he was so nervous. And when he gets nervous, he starts to stutter. And so he's like, excuse me. Like they're sitting there waiting for him to like, what's going on right now? And eventually he says, what time is it? And he also just shared the story with them. Like, I'm a stutterer and I'm trying to be less scared and stutter less. And so this is part of my homework. So even you sharing your story, like that's like the biggest win of all, is you sharing your story that where you're afraid and the mental block, so that you get your own freedom from those limiting thoughts too.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I can just take my phone. I don't need any microphones or anything, right?
Yeah, especially if you're doing two people, because if the microphone's just here, then it's harder to share. And don't worry about the gear. Just go do it.
Okay, yeah. I'll do. Thank you.
I love it. Cool. Good luck. That's super exciting.
If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me. Right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.